I think it's pretty essential these days, if you're a self-published author, to have an author platform. And you will hear this word used a lot in blog posts, on podcasts and books about self-publishing. So what is an author platform? Well, an author platform is basically your presence in the world. So, for instance, if I were to go and look for you by your author name or one of your book titles in Google, what would I find, if anything, when I did that search? Your author platform is basically the means by which we find you if we don't know who you are, if we're looking you up for the first time, or if we're super fans and we want to go to places where we know you hang out, or you write posts, or you tweet, or put Facebook posts. So your author platform can be made up of all sorts of things. Most commonly, the first and most important thing that it's made up of is a author website. Now, it could just be a page if you need it to be, but you should at least have an author website, which would generally be your author name, fredblogs.com, fredablogs.net, something like that. And as I say, it could just be a page saying who you are, what you do, and maybe putting your book covers on. But at the very, very least, we need to have a blog or a website for you. It will also be made up these days of some social media. That might be Twitter or Facebook. Depending on how visual what you write about is, you might also go for Pinterest, you might go for Instagram. And I actually like to have a LinkedIn profile too, because I always think that as a self-publishing author, you're also a professional. And if agents were looking you up online, if you were doing some teaching, if people wanted to get you in to talk, I think that you want to have a professional presence out there as well. So I think it's really important to have a LinkedIn profile which talks about what you do as an author, as well as obviously talking about your past career experience. So an author platform is all of those components, but it also might have some offline components, for instance. So you might have published a book if you're a speaker, if you're a chef, for instance, you might have published your life story, or you might have published a how-to book or something like that. So you might have a branding book that you give out when you do talks. That might be part of your author platform. But you also might have posters, you might have postcards, you might have specially designed cards with book covers on. There's all sorts of things that an author platform can be made up of. And in these next videos, I'm going to talk you through some of what I think are the key components for an author platform, just so that you can get started with this. But I think that the key question in this video is if I put your author name or your book titles into Google, can I find anything? Will anything come up when I go looking for you online? Because as we all know nowadays, if we hear about a book, a film, a TV series or something like that, the first thing that the majority of people will do is they'll do a Google search and they will try and find out about it. Now, if there is nothing there for you as an author, you've got to put that right. And I'm going to show you how to do that for free most of the time in the next videos.